Ch1. You are listening at FameTV.info. The appearance of the tyrant saber incited many people to fight over it, giving Xiao Qian a good chance to rest. Now that he did not need to worry about others, he could focus on treating his injuries to prevent any permanent hidden injuries from remaining behind. Xiao Qian still clearly recalled his experience in the Kunlun realm. Now that he was in this great thousand realms, he needed to pay attention to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past. Martial uncle. Senior brother Hua. As the two chatted, the core disciples and true inheritors of the Purple Flame sect all rushed over. The originally anxious people relaxed significantly after learning that the two were fine. The people of the Divine Firmament sect are really too much. We have to take revenge. To think that they took advantage of the situation to capture senior brother Hua. After finding out what Hua Yunfeng experienced, the many true inheritors burned with rage. Incensed. Back then, at the Divine Firmament sect's thunder-controlling peak, there was an agreement to ally to deal with the people of the Heavenly Shaking Mountain and the Padala Mountain. Now, for the sake of a Dao tool, the disciples of the other Black Cave Mountain sects actually made such a despicable move. This was utterly contemptible and unbearable. Xiao Qian smiled faintly and said, "Of course, you have to take revenge. However, not now. Now is the best time to seek out fortuitous encounters. The disciples of the other sects are all busy trying to snatch the Dao tool, which gives us an opportunity." Confused, Lingyu asked, "Martial uncle, why do you not seem anxious at all? Right now, the most important thing is to help you snatch back the Dao tool. A peak Dao tool was the greatest fortuitous encounter. All the disciples of the sect would gain glory and benefits along with it. There was no greater fortuitous encounter than this in the fiendish demon battlefield. Otherwise, those sect disciples would not end up like this, all of them crazed and fighting to the death, not open to negotiating at all. Even those that did not want to fight for the Dao tool ran over to participate in the liveliness, trying to gain some kind of benefit." Hua Yunfeng smiled mysteriously. "There is no need to worry about this. Xiao Qian has his own ways. After I recover my strength, I'll lead everyone to go and sweep through the various lands of fortuitous encounters." Although all the others fought over the saber, they would not be able to draw it. This tyrant saber already acknowledged Xiao Qian as its master. Xiao Qian had already left his mark on it, and the saber would eventually return to his hands. There was no need to worry at all. The many Purple Flame sect disciples were skeptical, but they were still satisfied with such an arrangement. With Hua Yunfeng leading the way to find fortuitous encounters, they would definitely benefit greatly during this period. 1 hour later, Hua Yunfeng had recovered from his injuries with the help of a medicinal pill. Then, he said goodbye to Xiao Qian and led the true inheritors and core disciples of the Purple Flame sect away from the valley. While Hua Yunfeng's wounds looked terrifying, he still had his cultivation and was not as horrifyingly injured as Xiao Qian with the aid of a medicinal pill. Hua Yunfeng's injuries had healed quickly. As for Xiao Qian, he continued to clear out the Dao injuries left by the Dao tools with the aid of the blood-soaked Dragon Emperor. His heart remained calm, not fluctuating at all. On the other side, the fight for the Dao tool devolved into sheer chaos, and its intensity was white-hot. Meng Qi and Jinda originally wanted to cooperate to control the situation. Unfortunately, they were not strong enough. Even when the two worked together, they still could not suppress everyone. Eventually, the two ended up fighting each other as well. Both had their own selfish desires. How could the agreed-upon alliance last for long? Damn it. This saber is really heavy. I can't draw it at all. Haha. I snatched it away. It is mine. Amid the violent mob, the tyrant saber kept changing hands. However, no one could draw it. Instead, they brought unnecessary disaster upon themselves. Surrounded and attacked just when it looked like there would never be a winner, thunder suddenly roared in the sky. A fearsome, tyrannical aura accompanied by astonishing thunder came from the distance. This made the sky fill with churning dark clouds and endless thunder. Where are the Divine Firmament sect disciples? A loud shout resounded. The Divine Firmament sect's Shangguanlei finally rushed over from a forbidden land. A bolt of lightning lashed down from the sky. As Shangguanlei bathed in the lightning, he looked like an aloof war god looking down coldly at the various sect disciples. It's Shangguanlei. Shangguanlei appeared. A person's name was like the shadow of a tree. The moment Shangguanlei spoke, startled cries immediately rose from the mob. The Divine Firmament sect disciples answered the call, replying to Shangguanlei, their faces filled with excitement. Senior brother Shangguan finally came out. This tyrant saber will definitely belong to my Divine Firmament sect. The moment Shangguanlei landed, the Divine Firmament sect disciples crowded around him, bolstering his prestige. Senior brother. The many Divine Firmament sect disciples greeted Shangguanlei respectfully. His peak major primal core aura gave the people around him enormous pressure. Shangguanlei swept his eyes across, and the invisible pressure spread out, forcibly silencing the 2,000-odd sect disciples here. No one dared to even look at anyone. Even the profound light temples Zhenda and the Confucian institutions Meng Qi, who had been fighting each other very fiercely, avoided each other's gazes. No one dared to fight anymore. All of them felt shocked in their hearts. How scary. To think that he is already at peak major primal core realm. Just this cultivation alone is enough to stand out from the crowd. How exactly did he cultivate? After one's cultivation reached major primal core realm, further increases would become extremely slow. Anyone who managed to reach peak major primal core realm could be considered an expert in the entire Grave C cluster. After all, some rank 3 sect masters outside the Grave C were at this cultivation realm. Furthermore, there was still more to Shangguanlei's potential. He was still young and had scope for growth. In the future, he would definitely advance to the Cloud C realm. Shangguanlei would surely become a star venerate or even higher. Zhenda thought to himself, this Shangguanlei's aura seems even scarier than senior brother's. What exactly did he experience in the past few days? To think that his improvement is so terrifying. Meng Qi had the same thought as well. When he compared Shangguanlei to Wang Yuming, he got the impression that the previous equality between those two was no more. Shangguanlei felt very satisfied with the crowd's reaction. His gaze never left the disciple who currently held the tyrant saber that was the strongest true inheritor of a rank 3 sect in the Black Cave Mountain. He felt a huge pressure from Shangguanlei's gaze. Sweat continuously poured down his forehead. We are hosted novel. Find us on Google. Shangguanlei looked directly at this person and recognized him. His eyes lit up. Suddenly, he shouted, Ma Tianliang, do you wish to die? Are you still not going to hand over the Dao tool? Shangguanlei's voice was like thunder, shaking everyone's heart and driving straight into this Ma Tianliang's soul. Ma Tianliang felt like a bolt of thunder suddenly appeared in his sea of consciousness. Ma Tianliang's entire body trembled, startled into shaking. Then, the tyrant saber he held flew out of his hand without his volition. The crowd parted. No one dared to approach the Dao tool lest Shangguanlei target them. As they moved away, the Dao tool fell in a large, empty area. Now, no one wanted the item that everyone fought over earlier. They only watched in dissatisfaction. It turned out that it is a tyrannical saber. With your weak appearance, do you think you are worthy of holding this saber? After Shangguanlei saw that ancient word on the saber scabbard, mockery appeared on his face, making Ma Tianliang feel very embarrassed. Only I, Shangguanlei, am worthy of possessing this saber. The word tyrant deeply impressed Shangguanlei. He showed a cold and stern face as he radiated strong confidence along with a tyrannical electric energy. No one dared to block Shangguanlei. They automatically opened a path for him. Perhaps not. Suddenly, a cool voice rang out. Wang Yuming descended, holding a folding fan. He had rushed over from the 10,000 flower garden. It's senior brother Wang. Senior brother Wang is finally here. The people of the Confucian sects immediately became excited. The others all showed joyful expressions as well. Finally, someone who could suppress Shangguanlei's limelight had arrived. Killing Qi flared in Shangguanlei's eyes as he looked at the descending Wang Yuming and shouted coldly, Wang Yuming, you dare to compete for the saber with me. Wang Yuming opened his folding fan and said indifferently, Shangguanlei, others might fear you, but would I, Wang Yuming, fear you? Shang Wanlei's eyes flashed as he suddenly noticed that this Wang Yuming had actually also reached peak major primal core realm. However, Shang Wanlei's stance remained as overbearing as before. This saber perfectly matches my Dao. It is made for me. Wang Yuming, how are you going to use it? Wang Yuming retorted indifferently, there is no need for you to worry about that. I have my reasons for making a move. Interesting. You really think that you can compete with me after advancing to peak major primal core realm using natural treasures? Take a saber strike from me. A saber appeared in Shang Wanlei's hand as he leaped into the air, sending out a saber light. Wang Yuming saw a saber light flash, brightening half the sky as resplendent as day, passing in an instant, propitious omen. Wang Yuming pulled back his folding fan. The righteous qi he released turned into a sun rising in the east, sending out auspicious clouds that he used his veritable essence energy in righteous qi to clash with this saber. Crack. A crack appeared on Wang Yuming's folding fan, and he staggered 3 steps back, his arm going numb. He could not help changing his expression. How can it be? My cultivation is the same as his. Why do our strengths differ by so much? Shang Wanlei smiled coldly. He had raised his cultivation through a mountain of fiendish demon corpses and a sea of blood, slowly building it up. Wang Yuming relied on external items to advance. How could they be comparable? A loyal heart for all eternity like the moon of tomorrow, a body full of righteous qi throughout the seasons. One exchange ended with Wang Yuming's loss, so he hurriedly read out the 2 lines of poetry that his master left on his folding fan. The crack on the folding fan mended, and a vast amount of righteous qi surged out. Wang Yuming's cultivation soared again, he exploded forth with an aura equal to that of a star venerate. Now, when Wang Yuming clashed with Shang Wanlei, he forced the other party back. Shang Wanlei spun around in the air and landed on the ground, which immediately trembled. He looked at Wang Yuming and said, no wonder you have the confidence to fight with me. However, let's see how long this broken fan can help you. Shang Wanlei did not show any fear when facing Wang Yuming, whose aura soared to the level of a star venerate. Whoosh! 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 Just as the two confronted each other, a figure suddenly appeared, stepping on lotus flowers and looking illusory. Then, this figure picked up the tyrant saber right under the noses of Shang Wanlei and Wang Yuming. Tyrant saber. It was the strongest true inheritor of the 3 blessed lands, the profound light temples Jin Yuan. As he held the tyrant saber, he showed a grave expression. This saber is an ominous item. Although all its masters were powerful and ruled, they all ended up dying at the blade of their own saber. Aside from tyrant saber, it has another name, the saber of misfortune. This saber needs to be handed to the Buddhist sect for safekeeping, Jin Yuan said to Wang Yuming and Shang Wanlei as he held the tyrant saber. Shang Wanlei mocked, do you think that I will believe what you said? You repulsive monk, cut the crap and hand over the saber. A vertical divine eye flew silently in the clouds. Shao Qian, who was in the valley, retracted the heavenly divine flying eye into his forehead. Then, he revealed confusion in his eyes. Tyrant saber. Saber of misfortune. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.